Hey folks, it's the Awesome Cast once more at HamaCon 2010. It's the local Huntsville, Alabama anime convention, and we've got ourselves a wonderful person to talk to. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Micah Solusod, although I was fairly certain you were referring to her. But yes, I'm a voice actor for Funimation. I talk occasionally. They pay me more to stop talking.
So tell us about yourself. So, likes, dislikes, what kind of beaches, walks do you like?
I like anime. I don't like anime. It's a love-hate relationship, really. I like walks on the beach because I used to live in Hawaii, so very appropriate.
So, let's start. What do you love about anime?
I like the creativity and just, coming to these cons, it inspires a lot of imaginative words. And, people's cosplays and everything is just fantastic. I like the positive side. On the downside, there's a lot of tripe out there, so, you win some, you lose some.
So you do the voice of Soul Eater
Yes.
Evans, right? How is that? How was that process doing the voice for that? Were you?
I still don't know how I got the part, really. At the time, I had been working at Funimation for about 4 months, and so they called me in. I'm like, why would you call some new guy in? And part of me was thinking, this is going to be the first and last time you're ever going to do something like this. I'm sorry.
It's okay. we apologize for James.
It's okay. It's the awkward, slowly.
Well, let's put on the do not disturb thing.
Okay, thanks.
I was looking out for you guys, I swear.
Sorry, I am such in a giggly mood right now. But yeah, part of me was thinking, this is going to be the first and last time I'll get a chance to do something like this. So, just have fun. And I didn't know I'd get cast. So, yeah.
So was it a lot of fun being kind of a lead role?
Yeah, definitely. I had played a major character beforehand, but it was really cool being a part of such a popular mainstream show like this, and definitely one for a keeper on the resume.
You say that one of the things that you liked about anime and everything was going to conventions and seeing the cosplay. Yes. Have you seen a lot of cosplay of Soul Eater and?
Yes, when we went to New York to premiere the show, the English dub for the first time, that was the thing. They kept promoting Soul Eater like crazy, and we had, we were essentially the things that brought people to the show, and there were tons of cosplayers, and they had to cut the autograph lines. We went overtime, and we still had a lot of people coming in, and they were just amazing cosplayers. There were people from ACP who came in and cosplayed as our characters for the voice actors. So they stood behind us to let people know which characters we play, and we even got to voice a cosplay skit. They acted it out, and the voice actors did the voices for them, which was really awesome.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, now that you've been the main character of a couple of shows, and especially the main character of a kind of a high profile show, do you find that you're getting more? They're calling you to come in for auditions for more main characters like that. Has that opened up some doors for you, or is it still too early to tell yet?
Well, it's one of those things where they're looking for new voices, and I just happen to be a new voice, so they're going to call me in. But at the same time, it's just like any other acting thing. You have to work for it, and if they think you're suited for a possible role, they'll call you in. So I have auditions, but the amount of auditions that I've managed to get a role in versus the ones that I haven't, that's a completely different story.
Do you do any? Do you study any vocal acting techniques, Or do you take lessons, or do you ever take classes? Or
I got into acting in middle school, and I did some like small theater stuff. I still consider myself to be a new actor, still learning things, still learning techniques. So, yeah, nothing really not like the veterans who've been studying this in school and everything. I'm still technically studying it, but not like
right.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that you seem to be fond of kicking back and enjoying the convention, both as an attendee and as a guest.
Yes.
Sort of doing this sort of low profile, almost under the radar stuff.
I wouldn't say under radar. Just I like to enjoy the con as a fan too, and if people, I don't expect people to recognize me, and if they don't, it's actually cooler for me because I'm the kind of person that I'd rather people I'd rather people admire my work rather than me. So
right.
Yeah, that's my thing.
So what kind of panels do you like going to?
I still like going to voice actor panels, getting to hear funny stories. I don't know. I haven't been to many cons, so I can't really say which ones I like going to. I went to the tea one, which was really cool.
Thank you.
My girlfriend is a big fan of tea, and she's slowly but surely getting me into tea, and I'm like, no, okay, it tastes good. I went to this Chinese restaurant, and they had this 5-flower tea. Oh, it was like almost like drinking fruit punch.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Good tea is really good.
Yes.
It's just that they make a lot of not good tea.
Yeah, I've had my share of overbrewed green tea and oolong and anyway.
But let's see. Well, even if you haven't been into it long, have you had any fun con stories happen yet?
Not really. I mean, like the fun con stories is just me going to the con and having fun, you know.
Yeah.
Not really the weird, awkward things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, because I'm not exactly as high profile, so I don't have that weird like obsessed. There's not enough time for me to have those obsessed fans,
Have you started making game plans for in case you do start getting obsessed fans?
Well, part of me, the pessimist in me, thinks that that's not going to happen, so I don't prepare for anything like I'm not striving to become the super popular, famous voice actor. I just want to do what I do because it's what I love. If the fans like it, that's fantastic. I'd love to interact with them, but other than that, I prefer staying out of the picture. I stay behind the mic, and not be seen, and that's how I'd like to keep it. But that's just me.
So what do you do to kick back and relax? What do you do at home to chill?
I like playing my guitar. Being in Hawaii, playing some sort of stringed instrument while you're just relaxing is kind of like the image, I guess you could say, but it's kind of therapeutic, You get to feel the music and be a part of it. And to me, that's really relaxing.
So how long were you in Hawaii?
18 years.
Also, most of it. So you're a recent immigrant to Texas.
Yeah, very recent, last year.
Oh, why did you go out to Texas? Was it for Funimation?
It was for voice acting. They told me, if you're going to get any work at all, you have to be local. We're not going to cast you. So I said, okay, this is a big risk. Mm-hmm. Very risky. I'm leaving all my securities just to see if this is going to work out. But at the time, it's like I was, a college student, college age, where you're not sure what you want to do with your life, so you kind of make these crazy gambles, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. And, I was just blessed enough that this did work out for me.
So, do you do the actual college dorm thing, or did you just, just move?
What do you mean, like?
I mean, how did you get from Hawaii to here, besides just,
I literally picked up all my stuff and I moved here to Texas. Yeah.
Well, I know pretty much, every voice I've ever talked to is do other jobs besides voice acting. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you were actually doing the school thing, or
I was going to college at the time, and then I moved to Texas. I waited a year because you have to be a resident to really apply for scholarships and stuff. And I intend to go back soon. Once I have the funds. Education is important.
So did you ever do any conventions before you started doing a lot of the anime voice acting, or is that a byproduct of the anime voice acting?
Definitely. The cons that I did go to were to prepare me for our premiere in New York. So I went to 2 cons in Texas that same year, last year. Other than that, being on Kauai, there isn't a con really. There's a Japanese festival, but no anime. So, and I'd have to go to another island, and that's just money that I don't want to spend.
Gotcha. That's actually not surprising since, Hawaii, I know, has a lot of Asian culture there. You'd think that an anime con would make sense in Hawaii, so I didn't know if there was one or not. I've never actually looked into that.
There's one, but it's on Oahu, the main island. I lived on the island next to it, and, there isn't like a boat or anything, easy access. You have to take a plane, and that costs money.
Planes do cost money.
Yes.
That's true.
They don't take Pocky.
So, do you ever, so I'm guessing that, were you an anime fan before you did the anime voice acting?
Yeah, definitely. I was, in fact, it's so surreal, Funimation was like my favorite dubbing company, and, I was watching Tsubasa right before I came up, and then coming up here, and it's like, whoa, I can't believe I'm working for Funimation. The guys that I heard I'm working with and telling me, nice to meet you in the halls. And
did you ever get any kind of starstruck being talking to any of the bigger voice actors?
It's embarrassing, but it's yes. I, as an anime fan, it's like one of those things you get to meet them in person, and usually you meet them at cons, but I'm meeting them in the hallway kind of more casually, and I had to remind myself, keep a professional sort of appearance, because it's a job. You can't just be like geeking out at every little thing. I can do that in the booth all I want because it's just me and the director, but like in the hallways I can't be like, oh my gosh, you're Christopher Sabat, or anything like that. So I try to be, bring out my good social skills. Good, quote unquote. Yeah.
Well, what anime were kind of like your favorites, or inspired you, or anything of that nature?
I'm totally a Kenshin fan. That was the first, I say true anime, not like Americanized or anything.
Yeah.
And that totally got me into like my Japanese culture. Like I'm part Japanese, so that totally inspired me to research more and get into more anime and stuff relating to my culture.
That's pretty cool.
So do you still keep on top of anime? Do you still watch like new stuff that's coming out, or?
As long as it's legal. In fact, yeah, actually, I'm watching currently on the Funimation website House of Five Leaves.
It's really good.
Yes.
I really like the fact that most of the really good stuff that actually is coming out now, that Funimation is one of the really big people spearheading streaming, like all of it.
Yes.
Like House of Five Leaves, Atomic Galaxy. They just got Rainbow.
Rainbow, yes, I heard about that.
I know we're both really glad that Funimation's doing that. How do you feel about that?
Doing the simulcasting?
Yeah, doing the simulcasting.
I think it's cool because, really, one of the biggest problems, I think, are fan subs. And fans want the things now. So the fact that the actual companies themselves are taking the time to do what the fan subbers would do, except, legally, you can bring it to a bunch of people for free. I think it's fantastic. And, they get to advertise themselves at the same time. So it's something I wish happened sooner, With the state of the industry right now, I wish this happened sooner.
So how do you feel? I don't know if you can even say anything. If you can't, that's cool. But I know that Navarre is looking actually to sell off Funimation.
I heard about that. I really don't know anything about that. I found out at the con I was just at.
Really?
And then I ran into Justin Rojas. He's the head of the Funimation blog. And he and I are buddies. And he was telling me about that. I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound very good. Well, what's all that about? But yeah, I just hope that everything goes well, because if it doesn't...
Well, Funimation is one of the last super huge major big dog. I mean, I have no way of actually saying this for a fact, but it feels like they're at least like half the anime industry in America right now.
Well, considering all the dropouts that we've had, I mean, it's like, it's so surreal thinking just a couple of years ago, ADV, Gineon, Bandai, Central Park Media, those guys were around, and we had a pretty big market. Now it's like Funimation and who really,
There's like Bandai.
Bandai still does things, but like the dubs are hardly around. They do mostly subtitling, or at least that's what I thought. And Media Blasters are still around, but they do mostly subtitling too nowadays. And then Sentai Filmworks has popped up, but I just hope things work out for them as well.
Right. And even then, just yesterday they announced there's a rumor that the guys who actually own licenses to Ava and Gynax might be separating.
Really?
Like,
yikes.
It's. Well, I mean, it's still in the rumor territory, but people actually own the. And this is not to the TVs, but to the movies, the movie remakes.
Yes.
They no longer, people who actually own the license to that no longer work for Gynax, and they might have actually taken the license with them. But it's just all rumor at this point. I mean, by the time this interview when we finally actually edit and get it out, this might be a completely different story. But right now, it's kind of crazy that even in Japan, things are not so so rosy.
Little do people know that, you know, what happens in America actually does affect what happens in Japan. I mean, if you look at a good example is what comes out in each anime season in Japan. You know, there have been more fan servicey shows and things that are used. I mean, it's marketing, really. You know, you have to use that to sell your product. And like, I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan of that. I wish more shows like, you know, House of Five Leaves would come out more often. Yeah. But I mean, the state of the industry, anime industry in general, just seems to be shaky right now.
Well, you know, I mean, and even the fan service stuff, actually, while it does sell in Japan, doesn't sell in America.
Well, barely. Like I heard some things like Funimation picked up Dragonaut and was it Strike Witches?
Strike Witches.
I heard those did okay for them. And I mean, I'm not in marketing. I don't know how that works out, but as long as Funimation is still around, that's good.
Well, we hope Funimation stays around.
Well, yes,
very much
for entertainment, you know, stability as well as, you know, job security.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you? So I guess did you get into Soul Eater before you get the part, or that came afterwards?
That came afterwards. I heard about it. I watched like a few clips people showed me. My girlfriend showed me like part of the first scene where Soul beats down Jack the Ripper, and
gotcha.
I was thinking, oh wow, this is an interesting show. But I didn't really see much beforehand, and then I researched it before the auditions just in case I got it.
Right.
But I've never seen the whole thing through. In fact, even after working on the whole show, I still don't know what goes on in certain areas, just what happens with Soul.
Did you ever use that as inspiration for your voice acting, or was it all just... I mean, did you use the Japanese voice actors' interpretation of Soul at all?
Oh, yes, definitely. In the audition, actually, they showed me that same clip from the first episode. And I was listening to Soul's voice, and it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, I didn't expect him to sound that deep.
Right.
But I thought, okay, yeah, sure, it sounds close enough to my normal range. I'll maybe just pitch it down just a little bit, add a little more gruffness, and see where it takes me. And I actually didn't think I was going to get Soul at all. You know, I thought I was going to get maybe another character, but I like Soul. He's cool.
He is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm honored to be a part of that show.
Are there any shows, well, I guess, you know, are you going to try to bug them for a part for 5 Leaves if they ever actually get to put it out in America?
I don't know about bug them, but I would be happy with just a small part in that, you know? The anime fan in me still likes having bragging rights.
Right.
I actually play a small part in, like, D. Gray Man and FMA Brotherhood. I play a little kid that Ed meets, and you know, it's not a big part, but I get to tell my friends, I was in Full Metal Alchemist. Ha! You know? I mean, you don't get to say that every day. Even Evangelion, you know, it's like a huge show, and I got to be a part of the director's cut, and I had one line mixed with 5 others. And, you know...
What was your line?
It had numbers in it. I don't know. All I know is that I screwed it up too much for just one line. But... yeah, and my name ended up being in the credits, and, you know, I get to say, yeah, I was in that. What were you? Just an extra. Not important, but shut up. I'm in it.
Well, what role so far has been your favorite role?
I don't really have a favorite role. I mean, the way I see it, when you invest in a character like that, you know, as an actor, you invest in the character that you play because you have to make him your own. You know, you have to portray them, and you know, you insert parts of yourself so you can relate. And in a way, like one voice actor put it, it's kind of like each character you play is your child. You don't have a favorite. There are things that you like and don't like, but overall, you see them as equal. And so that's how it is for me. As far as like performing wise, I mean, I definitely enjoy parts that I get to really act in. Like, one character that hardly anyone knows of is Moloch in Blast Rider. And, you know, it's such a dark show. It was not anime, you know, per se, because it was very sci-fi, bloody, and it's serious. There weren't those bulging eyeballs and sweat drops or anything. It was dark, and any humor that was there was very subtle. But I got to act my heart out, and at the time I didn't like it because that was my first role, and that essentially broke me in of any insecurities or things that I just had to get over. But if I had a chance to do a show like that again, I would love it.
Do you have anything exciting coming down the pipe, or?
Yeah, just when I got in to Alabama, I got a text from one of my directors saying I got the okay to talk about this. There's a show called Shikabane Hime.
Yeah.
And the cast was announced at Anime Central or something. And so I'm going to be playing a character who's a friend of, I think his name is Ori, the main male character. I'm going to be playing one of his friends. He's the perverted idiot, essentially, Ushijima.
I love that character.
You do?
I love that character. That's almost always my favorite character in the show.
Nice, yes. I'm going to be playing him. Surprisingly, because I usually get cast as, like, the nicer guys and whatever. I did not expect to get cast as the idiot pervert. The cool thing was, I got to... Because he's kind of like, I hate to say this, but like egotistical, and you know, he doesn't understand why the girls like the main character instead of him. I used one of my best friends, my childhood friends, as inspiration for that character. So I told him that, and he's like, "Yeah, you're just lucky they didn't call me." I'm like, "Exactly, that's why I used you." So, yeah, I can't wait for that to come out. Unfortunately, I'm afraid there's going to be one line that I told my panel today. There was a line that was really awkward. It was like, and the director kept having me say it, and I'm afraid that now that I've said that, they're going to ask me to say that at cons, and I'm like, I don't want to scream that. That's inappropriate.
Wildly inappropriate. Well, we won't ask you to scream it for now.
No, yeah, for now. Yes.
Is there something you would like to scream instead, in lieu of that line?
Help me.
Do you ever wander around, like, and before you know, do you only get the scripts, do you ever get the scripts beforehand?
Mm-mm.
Or is it always just at the performance?
It's at the performance. Essentially, being a voice actor means that you have to be really good at cold reading. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's like, here's the script, and here's what's going on. And, you know, of course the director tells you in detail. But after a while, it's kind of like they kind of leave you to figure it out on your own, guide you, but you form where the character's going. And it's kind of like if you're going in the wrong direction, the director kind of verbally smacks you on the wrist.
He directs, I guess.
Yeah. One of my favorite things, Zach Bolton, the director of Soul Eater, he always says something like, you know, the director mode is, you know, I want you to do this. Okay, make it a little longer. All right, that was good. Make it a little shorter. All right, yeah, okay, make it a little more, you know, growly and wet. All right, that's too much. Try it again. All right, okay, now, I want you to try that, but make it louder but softer at the same time. Okay, now make it orange. You know what? I like the first take better. You know, and it's so true, because that does happen occasionally. But yeah.
Do you ever keep, like, various, like, character archetypes in your head just in case before you walk into these things?
Yeah,
or?
well, I mean, like, any stereotype kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when you go into an audition, as an anime fan, unfortunately, this, I think, gets me into some trouble where I stereotype the character. Mm-hmm. And that may take away from any new things that I could bring to the table. But in my mind, you know, as an actor, you know what you can and can't do. So, right. I mean... If you see a character and it's like, okay, I think I can do that, so you automatically go to what you know, what you would know. And usually that works, because they can tweak it when you actually get cast. But I think the weirdest things for me is getting cast as a character that's like myself. I'm playing a character in a show, like I just started recording for like 2 days ago. And I started getting really confused because I'm using my normal voice, and I'm not really, in my mind, I'm not doing much acting. But it fits the character because it's kind of like me, but it throws me off because it's like I'm not really doing anything different. I'm just talking. Is that okay? You know? But Yeah.
Well, I guess in the end, that's the director's decision.
Definitely, yeah. And for the character, if you can relate with him that much, that's cool. But I mean, it really throws me for a loop because it feels like am I just not paying attention? Am I phoning it in? I start panicking. Like, I'm not doing anything different. It's me. So.
Should we go in for the final stretch?
Why not?
All right. You're about to get hit with the awesome 5.
I need to go now.
These are the hard-hitting questions, full of journalistic integrity.
All
And
right.
they're slightly embarrassing.
Okay. There's a window right here.
All right.
Does it open?
Not for you, for me. For him asking.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. These are the awesomest questions ever. So they're awesome 5.
All right. I'm ready.
What is or are your favorite candy and/or sweets?
I prefer chocolate, if at all possible. I'm not big on candy. In fact, my mom sent me a bunch of Skittles. I don't know why, because I don't really care for Skittles. So she said, you can just give them away to people. So today at my panel, I gave away the Skittles.
Nice.
But Michelle, who's the head of the con, she was kind enough. She said she'd pay me in Pocky. So I was like, yes. So definitely the chocolate. Not white chocolate,
Do you have a preference for milk chocolate or dark chocolate?
Dark, if at all possible.
Excellent.
Or semi-sweet. That's cool too.
If you were stuck on a desert island and had to choose 3 tools to ensure survival,
You mean Hawaii? I was stuck there for 18 years. Does that
well,
count?
that's true. I never considered that when I wrote this question.
There you go.
Okay, a desert island that's been abandoned.
Abandoned. Okay. And 3
tools to ensure survival.
The entire internet, my computer, and any cables that I would need for electronic devices. Because I can order whatever I want.
Well, that could work.
That works.
What project that you have worked on would most benefit by the inclusion of giant robots?
What? Like, the story would be better if they had giant robots
Yeah.
in them?
Or maybe the show would just be more awesome. Just
Yeah.
Evangelion.
Yeah, I was like, wait, Blast Rider already has sci-fi elements. Soul Eater, heck no. I mean, they had the golems, that I guess that counts. Sergeant Frog, but they have the model guns. I don't know.
So you say you've worked on 2. Anything you've worked on already has giant robots. So
Well,
it's really
not
hard
necessarily giant robots, but I mean things, sci-fi elements like
Right.
that. So it's. I don't know. Yeah, no, I have no idea.
Okay.
Pokemon.
Yeah. That would improve with giant
Yeah.
robots.
I have no idea.
All right. Some say that one can judge society by the monsters that they create. What would your monster be?
I don't need to create a monster. I'm a monster enough as is.
Then finally, how many awesomes out of awesome are you?
What?
So, these are hard-hitting questions, man. We get straight to the point.
Okay.
None of the hard matters.
Yeah.
How awesome are you?
Well, you're talking to a pessimist, so for me, that I don't even complete the first A.
I don't know. I think you have the awesome in you.
I don't know. Well, I mean, like, people say I'm awesome, but I mean, for me, I live my life, and I think it's pretty, lifey. Nothing really out of the ordinary. So, I'm a bad judge. You're your worst critic and the worst judge of yourself. So I can't say. People say I'm awesome, so maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I'll leave that to them.
Then finally, if you could leave some lasting words to the studio audience at home, what would they be?
Do your best in life and live life to the fullest.
All right. Well, thank you very much so much for talking with us.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to me ramble.
And we are out.